My experiment did not go how most of these experiments go. I don't want to infuse you with hate is so similar to I infuse you with love. I think that says a lot. What is up, Starseeds? It's Sid, and today we are going to be going over the results of my rice experiment. So I have other videos on water and the science behind water and all of these amazing things. So if you have not heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto, please go check out his work. He is amazing. He is the man who came up with this rice experiment as well as these other water experiments. He is famous for taking water and looking under a microscope at water crystals, samples that he took after doing research on how certain human emotions, certain words, certain pictures, certain sound frequencies and music affect water. And he discovered that human consciousness, human thought and emotion affects water and the makeup of the atomical structure of water, okay? Because negative emotions create not so beautiful water crystals and positive emotions create beautiful water crystals. Exhibit H2O. Humans are made up of mostly water, over 70% water. The earth is made up of mostly water, over 70% water. Human thought and emotion affects our bodies as well as the planet. So, I did a rice experiment. I'm going to insert some clips. You're not gonna see this for a few months, but I cooked some rice. I didn't measure out the amount of rice for each jar. But as you can see, I put a negative sign and I've been trying so hard to be mean to this one. Okay, when I put it in, I said some mean stuff. This one I didn't write anything on the lid. This one is the only one that's not that brand. It's a different brand. These two jars, I use the same kind. There's like a bit more rice in this one, but this is just the control group. I'm trying to like not have any emotion to this really. It's just kind of neutral. And then this one, I've been so lovey-dovey to. It's got the positive sign on it. And I said, I love you, and I sang some cute little stuff to it. So these are the jars. I put those babies up in my room, all under my window, and they stayed there for a few months. These are the jars after about 1 month. And as you can see, the one is not looking too swell, the control group. It's been a little bit since I did a rice experiment update video, and as you can see, the control jar is pretty gnarly looking, and the hate jar and the love jar really pretty equal. The love jar looks a tad, it's just kind of my shadow. They look pretty equal because I wouldn't even say I'm having difficulty. I'm just not sending the hate jar hate. I'm just acknowledging that I can't, which is pretty much the same thing as wishing this one pure love. I am trying to send this one a bit more love and like pure white kind of energy, and this one I'm like turn green. But yeah, that's how they look. I have kind of updated my altar situation, so that is one of the reasons for making this video now, as well as the fact that one of the jars is not looking good. Yeah. So, I have 3 jars of rice. This is all the same batch of rice, mind you. Okay, we're going to get into which jar is which in just a second. and the details of my experiment, because my experiment did not go how most of these experiments go. But let's get into it. So, I cooked this batch of rice, and then I put it into these 3 jars. 2 of these jars, I'm not going to say the brand name, but there it is. And then one of these jars is a different type of jar. That is the only variable besides, and like they're so close in size, you guys. They're all glass, all of them. They're all the same thickness of glass. Like, these jars, I didn't think the jars would affect it that much. I really don't think it did, okay? Because this was the same batch of rice. It was the same temperature. I put it in these jars at the same time. I literally scooped 1 scoop this jar, 1 scoop this jar, 1 scoop this jar. And I kept doing that until they all got about equal, okay? So there is really no variable there. But I do want to point out the obvious, that these jars are slightly different. They're a different brand. This one is slightly smaller, but I closed all of the jars at the same time and everything, you guys. So I don't think that is what did it. Now, this jar that looks gross is actually the one that I ignored. And we're gonna get into why this negative jar, this has the minus sign, that's for the negative. This has the plus sign, that's for the positive. So this is the jar that I really tried to infuse with hate, but really, I was aware of this the first day I did it. I am just a very happy, positive person. Instead of I hate you, I infused this with, like, turn green, because, like, I can't say that I hate you, which is really a positive emotion. So that's why this and this basically look the same. I love you and good vibes is pretty much the same thing as I can't say I hate you. The intention was very similar, and these both look very nice. These both look fresh, to be totally honest, and I have to check and see how long this experiment has been going on, but I know it has been months. I will insert the amount of time, the exact amount of time, right here on the screen for you guys. But this guy that I ignored is gross. This is proof. If this is not proof, I don't know what is. I cooked this rice at the same time. I just told this rice that I loved it. And this rice, I just ignored. I totally ignored this one. They were all in the same spot in my room. They were all sitting right here on my altar before I took it off and was like, you know what? I'm done having this rice on my altar. Like, the experiment has been proven. Like, do you see this? This is gross, you guys. And this rice is so amazing. So I just wanted to share my results and share that the experiment went not according to plan, and the fact that the negative jar looks just as pretty as the positive jar, because instead of I love you, I was just like, turn green, but I love you even though I'm trying to say I hate you, because like I just couldn't do it, y'all. Whenever I was angry, I tried to come in here and take it out on this jar, but like I really couldn't. I was like, why am I taking this out on an innocent jar of rice? That's just how positive I am. I should have done this experiment like a couple years ago, because then maybe it would have gone how it was supposed to. But I think this is equally as interesting, if not more interesting, as the Love and Hate project, because it shows that I don't want to infuse you with hate is so similar to I infuse you with love. I think that says a lot. And I'm going to leave this video off with that. Peace out.